Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase we're going to be looking at a Japanese exclusive figure, Dai Atlas. What we'll do with this video, we're going to have a look at him in all of his modes so you can see how you want to display him. I'll show you the working motor gimmick that came with him. I'll show you all the accessories that come with him and how you can use them, because you can use them, a lot of them, in more ways than one. And I'm lucky enough to have a couple of different types of packaging so we can have a look at the artwork on the back of that. Before we get started, I just want to say that I really do hope that I'm able to do these figures some justice. I've had quite a lot of interesting questions regarding this, and again, with them being Japanese exclusives, they are quite hard to come by. And yeah, to be honest, these have just absolutely blown me away. So let's give you a bit of a size comparison before we get started. So there's a trusty white Magnus cab I use quite a lot. So just underneath his waist. A slightly bigger Generation 1 figure, if I just move this guy out of the way for a second, is a Powermaster Optimus Prime. There we go, and you can see he's much bigger than him. And then funnily enough, I've just realised I'm doing all leaders, and he is, funnily enough, Dai Atlas is the last Autobot leader from the Generation 1 continuity. There's an old Star Saber, and he's just as tall but quite a bit wider than Star Saber. So there you go. So yeah, I've just mentioned he came out in 1990 as part of the wave of figures known as Zone in Japan, and he was the Autobot leader at the time. There was only one cartoon in Japan called Zone, and he was in it. Now already you can see that on this one the front folds down, and if I'm being totally honest, it does on that one a little as well. I've just managed to balance it up for the purpose of the video. So let's have a look at the robot then. So I'm going to be playing around with sort of both of them. To be honest, there's not that much articulation. You've got movement in the shoulder and then a little bit in what would be known, I suppose, as the biceps there, which you can see. Now these make a lot of noise, and as I say, what I normally do is I normally get the figures off the shelf and just, you know, go off the cuff and do a video, but I can't. I've got to confess with this, I've made notes, I've had a little play, everything. I want to make sure that I get this right. A, like I've already said, to do it some justice for you, and B, you know, show you how fantastic it is. It's crazy, and when you've just got these to work from, it's took quite a bit of time. So he does have an abundance of accessories, but the best thing about the accessories is they're versatile as well, and they pretty much do loads of things. So we've got, which is pretty much like a base or a tread there. You can then take this platform, you can pop it, you can see where it's all going to connect with the holes and everything there. We can then attach this little gun, pop it on the top, and then there's a little notch there where you can load his Micromaster. And there's one. Is it going to balance for me? There you go. So there's one use for it straight away. You can see just off camera and move it over a little bit. So there you go. There's one particular use for it. Or we can then take this base again. We can take the two ramps, which we're going to use later on in a base mode. These attach to this like so. You can see all the cutouts, all the holes and everything already. Then we can take what would be the platform, and again we can attach this like so. So what we've got now, and then with this small attachment to go in the back, we've now got a giant shield. So that, I mean, I think that's amazing just for a start, the fact that you've got a choice. I'm hoping I'm not blocking up too much of the camera with my big fat elbow there, but there you go. So you've got that instead of just a normal platform, which obviously looks quite good. You've then got a let's do this one. You've then got a standard gun, which is there, and then you can obviously attach this here as a gun. But then again, exactly the same gun, two radar dishes that are again going to be used in base mode later on. You can attach these to the gun like so, and then what you've got now is like a powered up gun. It's getting ridiculous, isn't it? We haven't even gotten to the actual robot yet. We're just onto the accessories, and this is how versatile and how many things you can actually, ooh, there we go, that was lucky, you can do with it. We'll pop that there. So some other accessories you've got is there's two ramps, and they just basically attach in base mode and two other bases as well. We've got a fin, which I'll show you what you can put on in another mode, and there's the little gun off the top of the unit there, and we've got a drill bit as well, which doubles up as, I suppose, as an antenna in base mode as well. So we've got that, which again looks fantastic. And then just one final thing. So we've got what would be the two wings, which are obviously on the back of this one. And again, this is obviously, you can see straight away that these are sun faded, so that's something you need to be aware of. And then you can even attach these two wings with them two bits on the bottom there. And this is obviously a great big Z, and this is now known as the Z sword. So if I bring this one over a little bit, and if I attach that in there, is it going to go? I know it fits in the other one. I've not put it in this guy's hand yet, but yeah, there you go. So you've got a giant, you can't even see him, it's that big. If I just turn it down for a second. Oh no. So yeah, so you've got just an absolute abundance of accessories and things you can do with him. There's that sword. And typically, as I say, I did have a play around with this before we got started and it held in, but this particular, there we go. You can see that he's got the large sword there. And this is just robot mode. As I say, we're only into robot mode. What I'm going to do, in fact, I suppose I'll have a go at transforming them now while I'm talking to you guys. In fact, I'll have point out some things that you need to be aware of. Oh, and I've got to show you him moving. So, of course, there's some fade, quite a bit. This bit flops down, it gets quite loose. The tracks are rubber and they can perish away on the back. And one thing I'll just say about these again quickly, in case I forgot at the beginning, which I think I did, is these are what's known as powered masters. Not to be confused with Powermasters, because in Japan the Powermasters were also known as Godmasters anyway. But there we go, there's a platform. There is, in fact I'll show you. So if I just pull this carefully down, that's his feet folding down. Can you see that? I want to see that, yeah. And then this slots down. I've put in some batteries. Amazingly enough, both of these work. Both of these Dai Atlases work. There's an annual for him. There's a button on the back. So, oh, put it backwards typically. Here you go. So you can see he will actually, so he will even move, you know, he'll roll towards you in that particular mode. So there we go. That is just the robot mode, shall we say. What I'm going to do, again, due to the fragility of this, I'm going to transform them quickly off camera. I'll show you as much as I can, and I'm going to come right back to you with some different modes. Okay then, so what I've done is I've just given myself a teeny bit of a head start with the better powered Dai Atlas there ready. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the transformation process with the more play-worn one, shall we say. And the reason for that is because the two modes that I'm about to show you, this is going to be like the powered jet and this is going to be like the powered drill. And the reason for that is that it's quite a similar transformation, to be fair. Some people in the fandom actually, they moan a little bit saying that it's, you know, it's that similar, it shouldn't be classed as a different mode, but I'll let you judge for yourself. So what we've got is the robot here, and then what we're going to do, we're going to carefully slide the feet down, clip them down, and then it's just a case of managing to bring his torso. It's so clicky, it's so rickety. I'm going to turn his arms up out the way. I'm going to bring his torso and undo this up and over the top. You can see how scary this is. You can hear it as well. Into position. Now this should, there we go, lie flat, which you can see that it has. And I'm going to turn the arms around so the fists are forward with this particular mode, and you'll see why in a second. Now I'm just going to bring the nose and the top of the head down. That all clicks into place. And as you can see now, they're very, very similar. We've just got the newer one with the arms facing backwards and the older one with the arms facing forward. So what we'll do, I'm going to now let's go to the newer one then. So the newer one I'm going to turn into a jet. So we're going to need this drill bit for the front, and then this just literally attaches in there like so. And then what we've got is we've got the wings that were the wings on the back, and of course the Z sword. We've got two little attachments here, and then you've got a few holes on the side of this. You've got these ones here are for when it's in base mode, and then the ones underneath there are for when it's in the mode that we're in now. So I'm just going to quickly attach these here. There we go. So it's starting to look a little bit more like a jet, and then I'm just going to rest that there. And then here is the fin that I was on about before. That can of course rest there. And then you can attach, if you want, the same gun that we had before with the powered up with the antenna dishes. You can pop that there. And then if I just pick this up again, hopefully you can see, hopefully I've got enough space left so you can see that that's quite an impressive looking jet. I'm going to now just move this out of the way, because if you remember, it's got a mode where you can go, oh no, there you go. I'll put it backwards. And there you have it. So scary when it's making all them noises, but there you go. There is the jet mode. And of course, because it's a Micromaster playset, I've transformed him into his robot, and there's a cockpit here, and if I pull that up, there's another gun there, but that's mainly for the other mode you're going to see in a second. There he is. He can sit inside there, and we can close him in if you want, but for the purpose of the video, I'm just going to bring him out to the side and close it so you can differentiate between the two. What I also like as well, if you want just to make it differentiate even more, is you can fold these up. And then I like the look of that, to be honest. I've not seen that in any of the pictures. But there you go. There is the jet mode. So let's have a quick look now at the drill mode. So I've left it where we were before. So the difference was this time is that the fists were folded forward. We're going to, of course, slot the fists in like so. I'm going to just basically move at the bicep. I'm going to tilt these up just ever so slightly, like so. We're still going to attach the drill bit like you do in the jet as well. So this attaches at the front, just like that. I'm going to turn this to the side just so you can see it for a second. So the platform that we had on the part when they're in the robot, or at the front of the shield, can now double up again with the gun on it, and then instead of going as whether you put the tail fin, excuse me, you can put that. So that's attached there. The cockpit now folds open, and again there's a gun there ready, and then of course you can put the driver in there as well. He's not going to stand just for 2 seconds, and then of course you can then put the gun. And of course I've not put the batteries in this one, but you can, as you've seen, you can move these backwards and forwards as well. So now you've got like an attack, drill, stroke, cannon mode. And as you can see, it's not too dissimilar from the jet. It's just a case of turning and manipulating the arms a different way around. But again, it still looks really good. The fact that you can still use the accessories all different to make it look good. And again, when you imagine having this as a kid, your imagination must have been in overdrive, the amount of things that you can do with it. So there we go. So we've seen the robot mode. This is like the jet mode. This is like the power drill mode. We're going to do the base mode in a second, so I'm just going to get a little bit of a head start and then show you how we're doing that in a second. Okay then, so I've given myself a bit of a head start again with the one that's in the better condition, and this isn't the full base mode, but this is, as I say, ready for me to just finish off for you guys in a second. And you can pretty much tell already that we've just turned it 180 degrees on itself. Now, in my opinion, I think this is the hardest transformation process in it, and I'm going to hopefully be able to do this some justice for you guys. So we're going to come back to this neat one in excuse me, in a second. So here's the one that was in the drill mode. So we need to take the drill off, we need to take the gun off. You'll already notice, unfortunately, they've had a bit of a casualty with this, and that's his treads have just come off, unfortunately, but I can rectify that in a bit. So here he is in his drill mode. So what we need to do a full 180 degrees. So we're going to pick this up, fold it right around, turn it right over, turn the back so that bit ends up flat. We're now, and you can see what I mean, this really is heart in mouth stuff. We're going to bring this bit over, fold the black bit over so it's in line. Now we're going to turn the rest, if I can, just so you can see. Yep, there we go. Make sure that these blue bits aren't in the way or going to get damaged. I've actually managed to do it. There we go. So I don't know if you saw much of that at all, but that's turned it over. If I stand this up now, you'll be able to see it much better. I can turn these arms up as to how they are on the other one. I don't know if you can see that. So again, here we go. If we take the arm, we're going to turn it all the way around, fold past that point, fold the bicep back, fold the ramp down, and bring the feet up a little bit there. So as I say, I've just lost the tread on that, unfortunately, but I'll rectify that. So that's how we did the transformation process. So I'm just going to move this out of the way, and we're going to look at the much more aesthetically pleasing one. So now we're going to go back to these ramps or wings, and we're going to turn them upside down. So now, yes, they will be ramps, and as I mentioned to you before, these are going to now go on the bottom part underneath there. Oh no, sorry, they're going to go on there. That was it. It was the bottom part before, wasn't it? So that attaches in there. This one attaches on that side. So it's going to start to look a little bit more like a base in a second. I might have to create a bit more space, to be honest. Let's have a look, see if I can. So push that there. The tail fin now goes back, and it goes at the top there. We take the gun, we take the two pieces off the side. These are actually going to be used now as antenna dishes. There they go. The drill bit gets turned around, and it is now, as I say, the antenna, like so. The two small orange ramps are going to attach on there. I'm going to pick the camera up in a second just so you can see it, because I appreciate you might not be able to see too much of this. I'm attaching the two ramps there. We've then got the two ramps from earlier that doubled up as a shield. The good thing about this is it's quite hard to go wrong. They all clip and fit over everything they should do. As I was going to say, with relative ease, and then as soon as I say that, I've jinxed myself, but here we go. Let's just get the ramps on. That's better. It's just because it's on a carpet, unfortunately. There we go. So that's got that on. We can now bring the turntable back in with the smaller gun, and we can attach that in there. In fact, I need to turn it around. We can get the Micromaster back. We can put him on his base like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on quickly. So there you go. You can see these spin around, and I'm going to just bring this up for you. So he's turning around there. You've also got the tracks that are all going to come down. All the track is working, obviously. Excuse that noise, but yeah, here we go. So we've now got base mode. You can also put the vehicle in there as well, and there's a lever on the back to fire him out of that. But there's your base mode. So again, they've utilized everything really well. These ramps will obviously attach to the other play sets, and that's any other play set you want, like Skyhopper, Ground Shaker, and of course the rest of Big Powered, which I'm going to be doing in its own separate video. But there is Dai Atlas. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to transform them back into, well, this one especially, back into his robot mode, and then we'll come back to a bit of a summary, and we'll have a look at the box and the artwork as well. Okay then, so we're going to come back with a quick summary, and we're going to have a quick look at the box artwork in a second. But before I do, I just want to take the opportunity as well to just maybe touch on a couple more things on the base that I've just looked back and I think that I've missed out, to be honest. So a lot of the aspects of this figure have got this motorized part to it, and to be honest, if you get one and the motors aren't working, you know, it's not the end of the world. And I wanted to show you this because I didn't show you just. So there's a little lever there on the back of this, and then you can actually manually, if I lift my arm out of the way, launch the vehicles as well. So you've got one of them on each side. So yes, the motor gimmick is a lovely thing to have if it's working, but I don't think, let's be honest, you're going to be playing with them anyway. But it's you know, it's not the be all and end all, and I think that I made this look much more difficult than what it was as well. It's just literally a dowel there that attaches into the foot hole there, and of course it all clips in. They do all fit together incredibly well, to be honest. So yeah, I've just put that back in base mode just to give you an idea of the little extra bits that I, in honesty, yeah, just didn't go through. So I'm going to move the base mode over to the side for a second. I haven't even shown you the Micromaster really in any detail, so I'll get the better looking one for a second. These have both been heavily played with, bless them. So just your standard normal Micromasters. There they go. and of course I've put him back in his robot mode. So again, hopefully with this video I've done him a bit of justice. You wouldn't believe the time it's taken to make this 15-20 minute video. I'm sure you can probably guess, but it's took such a long time. So here's the Dai Atlas box by itself. It's got a bit of a damaged window there, unfortunately. However, I've showed you this, I think, with the other ones as well. The artwork on it is fantastic. There's your modes: robot, base, drill and jet. But the good thing about these is there we have his collector's card. And the reason why this is good is because you don't have to cut things out of the box. I'll turn it around, we'll have a quick look at some more of the artwork, some more of the pictures. There's a bit more detail of the base mode. And the fact, obviously, it's showing you that it moves, which I've showed you as well. There is the base mode for big powered. Again, I'm going to be doing a big powered video by itself. I'm going to hopefully be able to display them in both modes for you. I think the jet looks more impressive, to be honest. That's the one I'm most looking forward to building. And of course it's there saying that we need Sonic Bomber and Road Fire. Quickly, while we're here at the bottom, there we have his, what's the word? Tech spec. Yeah, tech spec, I suppose it is there. There's his tech spec and the robot points. And for those of you who are unaware, the C348, the C stood for Cybertron, and that was an Autobot. So that's his individual box. I've already mentioned, but it seems like an eternity ago, that this came out in 1990. And it was, as I say, part of the Zone wave of figures. And here's the main big powered gift set. And there you've got a lovely picture of the base mode. There's a picture of Road Fire, Dai Atlas and Sonic Bomber. And then there's what I think is the much more impressive big powered power jet mode that I'm going to be doing soon as well. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed looking at him. He is very impressive. He's well worth the hunt. He's well worth the saving up for. You know, as I say, 15 months in the making to get these. Thanks. I've got to obviously thank Chucklo Artfire for enabling me to do this again. Yeah, that's it. I want to thank him. I want to thank you guys. I need to turn this around so I can follow. That's better. For watching, you know, for enjoying and for asking loads of questions about these. I hope I've done him some justice. I hope you like looking at him. And I know that this is spurring a lot of the viewers' interests into the Japanese figures. The good thing about this, as I say, it's only one episode, so if you want to watch Zone, there's only one cartoon, and I've seen it's on quite a few things on YouTube, to be fair, so you can get it watched if you want to. But in summary then, he was the Autobot leader for that only single episode. His name is Dai Atlas, and I hope you enjoyed looking at him. I hope it helped you with your curiosity as to what they do and how they work, etc. And yeah, maybe it spurred you on into getting one for yourself as well. If you get one, obviously let me know, especially in the comments box, or if there's something I missed out. Don't get me wrong, I might have missed something out. I don't confess to knowing absolutely everything, and trying my very best with Japanese instructions and just a couple of books. Yeah, sometimes I miss things out, obviously. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Of course, everybody, please take care. Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.